Do you often look at your household bins and go, what the f goes in which bin? Well, you're not alone. It's like we need a bit of a superhero to come down from the sky and just tell us what to do. What the f is this? Come on down then.
Wasteman Mick!
We've stumbled across a superhero, Wasteman Mick, falling from the sky.
Wasteman Mick has been saving social media with many videos about how to recycle properly, and he has every right to do so because he's about to be fully qualified.
I'm currently doing my PhD in plastic recycling.
Best believe he's the right man for this job.
Pretty much everyone makes, I don't know, a lot of waste every year. A good portion of that can be recycled. Australia is just falling behind on a lot of those recycling rates, and that comes down to a lot of people not actually knowing how to recycle. It's a difficult process, and I'm here to try to help that out.
Act loco!
Tell me about the 3 different bins that we've got.
3?
Yeah, so...
Some places have 4 now.
What the f? What goes in each bin?
So green bin, in Wollongong we call it FOGO, food organics, garden organics. And also sometimes you can put in oil-based cardboards, such as the top of your pizza boxes, or the bottoms of your pizza box.
Just the bottoms?
Yeah, just the bottoms. So that's because you can't no longer recycle that properly because the oil has contaminated that. So that's the green bin, so you're going to put in your yard clippings and your food if your council does that. Your yellow bin is general recycling, mixed recycling in Australia. So you got your milk bottles, you got your glass bottles, you got your cardboard, your paper, all the general recycling bits and pieces. And then your red bin is everything else. Okay. Different councils, different things can be recycled. They are trying to bring out a universal, like this is recycled, this can't be recycled, make it Australia wide. But because it's all businesses behind the recycling bin. So your councils provide the recycling bins and the garbage bins, but then the people who pick it up and recycle, they're all businesses.
And their facilities are different from...
Facilities are different, yeah. So it depends on that facility, what can and can't be recycled.
How do they streamline, like without knocking out, like piss off all of these businesses and all just do like an Australia-wide sort of conglomerate thing that... What's the answer there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wasteman Mick!
To be honest, that's my fault. I kind of threw Wasteman Mick under the bus there. It's not really his MO. He's more of a man that does tips and tricks. Sorry, brother. What are we getting so wrong when it comes to recycling?
Not knowing what can and can't be recycled. For plastics, for example, 3 main ones that you can recycle, like PET, HDPE, and PP. For the average Joe who's out there, they're not going to know the difference between the plastics. They're like, oh, that's plastic, you can recycle that. So you get a lot of contamination in the recycling bins, and once you get contaminated, then that reduces the recycling rate that's actually in the bin, because then if you get too much contamination, that whole bin's just going to get thrown out potentially. If you're confused and you are in a different council, always just check the council website. Yeah. Because they will have their list of what can and can't be recycled. That would help if you are on a road trip, because you could get caught out with thinking you can recycle something, put it in the yellow bin, and turns out you can't actually put it in the yellow bin. Recyclingnearme.com, I think it's Planet Ark. They've got a big system where you do have those hard to recycle objects like your batteries, your paint tins, even x-rays, stuff like that. You type in what you have, it'll try to find out where the closest recycling pickup point for that is.
I mentioned before that Wasteman Mick is known for his tips and his tricks when it comes to recycling. So let's get a couple of tips and tricks from Wasteman Mick. Wasteman Mick's 3 top tips to have a successful recyclable hike. I want to bring a sandwich, I want to bring my water supply. What do I bring? What do I have to think about?
All right, so for a nice waste-free hike, say you're going to have snacks. When you're at the shops, I would avoid buying foods that come individually wrapped in plastic. That's a big no-no. Buy like trail mix that you could maybe make up those smaller packets and just take a little Tupperware container. That's good for your sandwich too. If you do happen to have some single-use plastic, like you might have a muesli bar, you can then just put that straight in your Tupperware container. That keeps it from ever leaving your person, and you can take it home and throw it in the right bin. The Tupperware, you might have juicy foods that you don't want to get leaking through your bags. The Tupperware's a good thing just to contain it all in it. Take your own water bottle. Never buy a plastic water bottle unless it's like a reusable plastic water bottle, that's all right. But a single-use plastic water bottle, no. If you are out in nature and you do see rubbish, pick it up. It's Clean Up Australia Day every day of the year for Wasteman Mick.
Wasteman Mick!
You don't have to pick up all the rubbish because there might be heaps, but just pick up some of it.
Away from the adventure, just, your everyday life. Everyone has to recycle. It's not just the adventure and environmental enthusiast. Any other random tips?
People are still wrapping their recycling in a garbage bag and then they put it all in a yellow bin. It's back.
People are idiots. Why do they do that?
In their kitchens, they'll have the red bin waste and then you got your yellow bin waste, like sorted out in the kitchen. You're like, yes, doing the right thing. Then they tie both of them up. And then if that garbage bag goes through the scanner, it's just put into rubbish.
Yeah, that's baffling.
Yeah,
that's why we have you.
Wasteman Mick!
People will always put a bad sight on plastic too. Oh, plastic's evil, plastic's that. Everyone needs plastics. It's in medicine, it's in all your computers, it's in anything in our day-to-day life. You're going to need plastic.
Yeah.
So we're going to just need to shift away from oil plastics and move to those more bioplastics eventually. We don't need single-use plastic. That's the one that we don't need. I think that's where the narrative needs to go, and that's what you need to push governments away from, is that single-use plastic. Plastic cups, plastic water bottles, plastic plates, just those straws, for example.
Yeah.
They're only small, but because they're the quick, easy throwaway ones, and a lot of people won't recycle it. Like say you, on this bike path down here, did you see any recycling bins on that bike path?
There's not a lot of bins along that cycleway. Wollongong.
There's bins every now and then, not recycling bins. If you're just going out, you brought a bottle of water, that's fine, you might have left your bottle at home. You want to recycle, it's not there to recycle. You've got to hold on to it till you get home. A lot of people don't prioritise recycling, so they're just like, oh, I'll just throw it out. So it is those single-use plastics that add up in the red bins when they could also go in the yellow bins. But it's just where you're using those single-use plastics, there's not usually recycling available. There's going to be some big change in the next 20 years, I reckon, where landfills will be filling up. The councils are going to be wondering what they're going to do with all this rubbish. The rubbish rate's just growing because the population's obviously growing. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Honestly, Wasteman Mick is an absolutely epic follow on the social media, so make sure you chuck him a bit of a thumbs up and see what he has to say about the 3 bins and what the you gotta put in each. If you know another legend doing cool shit to protect the natural world, comment down below. See you next time.